Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Story number 109. Story number 109, and the title is They Threw Believers into the Fire. They threw believers into the fire. This story in the Quran is about an arrogant king long time ago. But who he was, where he was, those details are not with us. So, an arrogant king, and he claimed himself to be God. He demanded his people, his subjects, to worship him, to believe that he was God for them. But some people, they did not follow his command, and as a result, he ordered his armies to dig big holes, to put fire in it, and then to throw them into the fire. So very cruel action. And this story Allah has mentioned in Holy Quran. So let us directly go to Holy Quran in chapter 85, and we start from verse 4. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم وَلَهُمْ عَذَابُ الْحَرِيقِ. So in verse 4, Allah says, قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. Accursed are those who made the pit of fire. And they were destroyed. They were cursed. Because they did a very cruel act on innocent believers. Qutila means they were cursed or they were destroyed. They were destroyed. They were punished in this world, and they will be punished again in the next life. النار ذات الوقود. The fire implies supplied with fuel. So they made a big fire, used a lot of firewood, things like that, to make a big fire so they could throw the believers in it. إِذْ هُمْ عَلَيْهَا قُعُودٌ. And they saw and they sat by the fire. إِذْ هُمْ عَلَيْهَا قُعُودٌ. They sat by the fire. وَهُمْ عَلَى مَا يَفْعَلُونَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ شُهُودٌ. And they saw all that they were doing against the believers. So in other words, they put the fire up and they were enjoying. They were enjoying the screaming and crying of children, of women, of men. They were enjoying. And they did a horrible crime. وَمَا نَقَمُوا مِنْهُمْ إِلَّا أَنْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَمِيدِ. Now Allah is saying that they ill-treated the believers for no other reason except they ill-treated the believers for no other crime except they believed in Allah. يُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَمِيدِ. Their only crime, their only fault was that they believed in Almighty Allah and all praiseworthy Allah. That's all. They were not robbers, they were not thieves, they were not murderers, they were not criminals, they were not bad character people. They did not do anything wrong. The only thing they did was they believed in Al-Aziz and Al-Hamid. They believed in that Allah, Allazi lahu mulku samawati wal ard. They believed in the Lord who is the owner of the heaven and the earth. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in shaheed. And definitely Allah is exalted in power. Allah, Wallahu ala kulli shay'in shaheed, and Allah is witness over everything. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in shaheed. Whatever they did, Allah is the witness. Allah knows. Allah have seen what they had done. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in shaheed. That Allah is the witness over everything. Now, let us go through a hadith to find out little bit more. It is a long story, but I will try to be brief. A hadith from Sahih Muslim. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling the story that in ancient age there was a king, and he had a sorcerer employed by the government. You can say a royal sorcerer. The sorcerer became old. So he told the king, get me a boy so I can teach him the sorcery, and when I am dead, then he can take over my role and he can help you. So the king liked the idea, and he had selected a boy he thought suitable for that. Now this boy, he was living in a village, so he had to go daily from his place to the sorcerer in king's palace. In his path, beside his path, there was a pious man, old man. And that old man used to teach people about Allah, about next life. So this boy, when he saw some people were going, it was like a hermit. So he thought that he should also go. He went in, he sat down, he listened to the man, and then he liked it. And as a result, he lost some time and he arrived to the sorcerer late. Sorcerer punished him and said, "You were late, you have to make up your time." So sorcerer let him go home late. Then the boy arrived at home also late, and then his father gave him also beating. "Why are you late? What have you been wondering about?" So the boy managed to go that way for the time being, and then one day something happened. One day the boy was coming out from his house to go to the sorcerer, and then he saw in the path a huge creature, and people were scared because the creature is sitting on the pathway and they cannot pass from both sides. So it was a block, and it was a peculiar, very scary kind of creature. So the boy thought, today I got a chance. I'm going to test who is on the right path. So he picked up a stone and he said, "Oh Allah, I believe in you. And if the teaching of that pious man about you is correct, then I'm throwing this stone to this big creature, and Allah, with this stone you kill the creature. But if the sorcerer and his sorcery is correct, then Allah, don't kill the creature with that stone." So he threw the stone. In Islamic teaching, sorcery is prohibited. Sorcery profession is prohibited. Why? Because it does not benefit human being. So he did the test. He threw the people, and then instantly the dangerous creature died. He became very much confirmed about his faith, and then he went to the pious man and told him what happened. The pious man said, "Boy, you are now better than me in terms of the spiritual highness. You are better than me. Allah accepted your prayer straight away, but you will face trial in future for this. Never tell my name to anyone, but you are going to face trial. Allah will test you. And for good faith, Allah always tests." Allah said in Quran, "أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ." Do people think that they will say, "I believe," and they will be, without tested? They will be left without being tested. وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. We indeed tested people in the past who said they believed in Allah. فَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. So that through the test, Allah will determine who is truthful in his demand of faith and who is false, who is liar. So this universal rule of testing from Allah was all the time, and it was going to happen to this boy also. The religious teacher told him that you are going to be tested. So long story short, the boy, Allah gave him some miraculous power, and then he started treating people with born blindness, leprosy, leukoderma, and other incurable diseases. He used to make supplication to Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to grant his supplication, and Allah is to give cure to the sick people. Then, by the way, the king, one of his advisor, he became blind, and he tried everything available in that time as medicine. Nothing helped. Then he heard from some people that there was a boy in a village he could cure. So that advisor, he bought lots of expensive gifts, and he went to the boy and said, "You take all these gifts and you cure me." The boy said, "No, I can't cure. The God, Allah, He does cure. If you believe in Him, I can pray for you and you will pray with me. I can pray to God, and if He gives you cure, you will be instantly cured." So the advisor said, "Fine." So he believed, they prayed together, Allah cured him. Then after being cured, the advisor came to the king, sat beside the king as an advisor, and the king asked him, "Can you see?" "Yeah." "Who cured you?" Then the advisor said that my Lord gave me the vision. Then the king said, "Me? I give you the vision?" He said, "No, the Lord of your and the Lord of mine. You are not the Lord. The Lord, Almighty Allah, He gave me the cure." And then the king got angry and he said, "Who is your Lord beside me?" Then that man said, advisor said, "He is Allah." So the king began torturing him and said, "Tell me everything. Who told you about Allah? Why did you get the cure?" Everything. After being tortured, that man gave the name of that boy. So the boy was arrested. And the king said that, "Do you cure with sorcery? The sorcery that you have learned from my sorcerer?" The boy said, "No, I don't. Sorcery doesn't. The Lord cures." Then the king said, Do I cure?" He said, "No, not you. Allah cures." Then the king tortured him, asking, "Tell us who taught you these things." Then after all this torture, the boy said the name of that pious man. So they arrested the pious man and gave him two choices. Pious man, either you give up your faith and believe the king is your God, or we will finish you. Pious man, he could not, or he did not leave his faith. So as a result, they cut the pious man's body into two parts with the saw, from head to down. And they killed the advisor of the king in the same way. Then the left was the boy. The boy was given ultimatum by the king. You give up your faith on Allah or you suffer. The boy, he didn't agree. So the king chose a group of army and asked the army to take the boy into the mountain and give him one more chance in the mountain. If he leaves the faith in Allah and believes in the king, he should be excused, otherwise he should be killed. So they took the boy into the mountain, and the boy went there, and the boy prayed to Allah, "Oh Allah, oh Allah, save me from them by anything you wish." So Allah sent an earthquake, so terrible earthquake. As a result, all of the armies, they were killed, and the boy was alive. So he came back to the king. King said, "What? What happened?" So he told them the story. Then the king again sent another group of army to take him to the river in a boat and to kill him there. Again he prayed to Allah, and all of them were sunk, and he came back. Then the king again sent him with a group of soldiers to burn him in fire. And again he prayed to Allah, and they could not kill him. They were burned. So the king was frustrated. He could not kill him. So the boy gave him an advice, said, "Listen, king, if you really want to kill me, then you have to follow my advice." King said, "Yeah, I want to kill you. What to do?" The boy said, "My advice is, you gather all the people, and then you tie me up with a tree, with a trunk of a tree, and then you should use my arrow and bow. And then you should use my bow and arrow, and you say, before throwing the arrow, you say that in the name of Allah, the Lord of the boy, I am throwing the arrow to kill him." If he can say this in front of people, then with that arrow I'll be killed. The king did not think through well. King thought that the sooner I get rid of this boy is better. He said, "Okay, fine, not a problem." So he gathered all the people, and he did exactly how the boy advised. So the boy was killed, but the problem was bigger. All the people who gathered, they witnessed, they said, "Ha ha, now we believe that actually the king is not the God, because he could not kill the boy. Actually, the boy is God. Allah is the real God, because he has power. And when he threw the arrow in the name of Allah, then the boy was killed. So we believe in the God of the boy." Then king, he got more angrier. He got more angrier. Then he commanded his armies to dig ditches and put fire on. And one by one they took in the fire and said, "Either you give up your faith in Allah, believe in the king, or we will throw you in the fire." And they did not give up their faith, and they were thrown. A mother, from Hadith also we find the story, a mother with a baby, she also accepted Allah as her Lord. So when they brought the mother near the fire and gave her the ultimatum, she took a step back with the fear that her baby will also be burnt alive. But according to the Hadith, the baby spoke miraculously. The baby said, "Mom, be patient. You are in the truth. Nothing will happen." So the mother got the courage, and with her child, with her baby, she jumped in the fire. So that's how very cruelly they threw the believers into the fire. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about that action. One last verse. Allah said, "Inna alladhina fatanul mu'minina wal mu'minat," those who are cruel or unkind to the believing men and believing women, ثم لم يتوبوا, and they do not turn in repentance, فلهم عذاب جهنم, for them they will have the penalty of hell, وَلَهُمْ عَذَابُ الْحَرِيقِ, and they will have the penalty of the burning fire. So this is the brief story of the three believers into the fire. May Allah bless them for sticking to their faith strongly, as we have seen that Pharaoh, when he punished the magicians, because the magicians accepted Allah, accepted the invitation of Musa alayhi salam. May Allah bless all the believing men and women who went through tests and they showed their love, their faith to Almighty Allah. May Allah bless all of them. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.